Modern K-pop has been around since the 90s, and if I'm being real, it's so fucking long ago. Am I right, fellow kids? But it wouldn't be until BTS, yes, these guys, that it would actually become as popular as today. Honestly, I wanted to give a summary and make fun of it, but I realized I'm one of those closet fans who tells everyone else that it's cringe, but secretly has a gym and body pillow. So I'm not gonna do that. Big boy honesty here. These guys are fucking hot, and they sing like fucking chads. Now that would be enough to fuel their success for years, but no one could have expected people to be, well, this thirsty. The horniness volumes gained more momentum each year until being a K-pop stan was not just a fan base, but a genre. Some of the weirdest, and not gonna lie, funniest shit to watch was some random TikTok Eid boy trying to be like, so why does this all matter, and why am I talking about it? Well, because it's not all bad. All this led to a specific instance where some random author who was probably a K-pop stan went to a webtoon editor and was like, alright, get this. It's high school. You're an ugly kid. Okay. But then you become hot. Alright, you're getting some. But then you become involved with the mafia. You say, okay, that's a little bit out of the. And it turns out that you're becoming hot and becoming part of the mafia is actually a big conspiracy theory where some rich dude like Mark Zuckerberg gave you a hot body so that you can fuck everyone. I'm sorry. And then you try to become a K-pop star. But then the mafia control the K-pop. And the rich dude controls the mafia. So you decide to lead a civil war and organize a revolution by going to every mafia boss, beating them, and recruiting them under your banner instead. Okay, this is stupid. We can't show high schoolers getting in gunfights. Oh, no. They don't shoot. Or they don't even use knives. But it's the mafia. How do they fight them? They're built different. Okay, so how is the main character supposed to beat them? He's built more different. This is stupid. It's not gonna work. We're not gonna make money. Oh no. You don't understand. All the guys are hot.
Here comes the money.
Lookism is garbage. The story is non-existent after a while, but god damn it, is it so fucking cool. What always brings me back is the author's way of turning shit from 10 to a fucking 1,000. Some of the scenarios are so fucking ridiculous that it has the opposite effect. Instead of it feeling goofy, it becomes fucking awesome. Here's a fight scene, for example. Oh, me punch strong. How am I able to punch strong? Well, I only use my right hand, and that makes my punch stronger. That's how I'm gonna beat you. Oh yeah, well I'm gonna kick your punch, which is gonna give me your punch's power, and then divert it into my other leg and kick you back. Oh no, you beat me, but you never beat my master. Oh, you have a master? Hi, me am master. How am I stronger than my student? I only use my right hand, and that makes me punch even harder. And that's just one chapter. This shit happens almost every chapter. The fucking fights, apart from being ridiculous, look so freaking cool. The choreography is on point. The martial arts that the character use actually seem technical and on point when, they actually use martial arts. And an unexpected result is that the characters are good. Despite the meh story, each character has a quirk. Like this guy, for some fucking reason, doesn't want people to see his eyes. Another dude just doesn't talk. The point is, it makes me remember them. And all of them, get this, have some character development. So I give a shit about almost all of them. Oh, and then I mentioned, they're all hot. The story's not bad at the start. It's this fat kid who wakes up in another body one day. And he's sexy. He goes to a new high school and all of them are built different. The mafia gets involved. You get the point. The reason why this shit is so hype is that every now and then, the story actually hits you in the feels. Big time. Most of the time it's ridiculous and crazy and you're reading being like, this is fun. This guy is beating up all the thugs to steal their Nikes instead of their money. But then you get some random flashback. His mom was a drug addict, so she fucked him up. On top of that, she has a genetic disease that's going to make her blind. The doctors need millions to repair that, and the only way he can make that much money is by selling used Nikes to some random crackhead. I don't get this part either, don't worry. But at the same time, it's a genetic disease, so he's also getting blind, but he doesn't care. Don't get me wrong, in the grand scheme of things, it's not an emotional backstory at all. But when 99% of the story is so ridiculous that, for example, a mafia boss is strong because he castrated himself so he wouldn't get distracted. Yes, that's an actual plot point. 1% of the time where the story is actually good hits all the harder. What's gonna hurt more, a slap you're expecting or a slap you're not expecting? And there's actual power scaling. You know how in shonen there's clear power levels. Like in One Piece, it's like, Oh, random Marine, then Vice Admiral, then the First Generation, then an Admiral, then the Emperor. It's similar in Lookism, except that it's hype. Their power spikes are based on the most ridiculous shit. Like this guy gets stronger or weaker based on what glasses he wears. Like swimming goggles Vinjin is stronger than sunglasses Vinjin. And by the way, there's a Lookism power level video on YouTube with like 1.5 million views, which is way more than I thought. Which brings me to another point about Lookism. The fan base. It's but you know what? I'm fine with it, because it makes me look better. So you have a shit ton of colorful characters, ridiculous power scaling, and plot points. The fight scenes actually look cool most of the time. There's a central overarching goal and a mystery, weird as it may be. All the characters are hot, and on top of all that, the main theme is about self-improvement. And that's all you need to become my guilty pleasure. I'll be honest, that's what it is, a guilty pleasure. I don't expect anyone to be hyped about this as I am, for obvious reasons. There are clear faults with it. I know for a fact that no matter what happens, none of my friends are ever gonna get into Lookism. And honestly, I don't really care. Is that gonna make me shut up about it in front of them? Absolutely not. Can I just fangirl for a second? Sorry. Vasco just has to be the best boy. There's no other choice. He's a man amongst men. While everyone out there was fucking around, he was improving. He didn't just do push-ups. He pushed the world down. He got better while everyone else got bitter. And what came out of that focus was perfection. The body of a god. And despite now having it all, he was kinder than all. Even though he wanted revenge, he did not attack, but instead he chose to protect all the other weak men. All it'll take is one call and he'll come running. And just look at that body. Whew. Everyone else is mostly skinny, but he out here fully jacked. Reject femininity. Embrace masculinity. I said earlier that the theme is self-improvement, right? That's because of the main character. From the very start, he gets everything handed to him in his lap. He just wakes up in another body of his dream. But even though he gets everything he wanted, even though he sees an entirely different world from his new body, he doesn't give up on his old original body. In fact, he keeps improving it and grows in both bodies together. He goes from looking like this to this, and he didn't have to do it. He had no reason to, but he pushed regardless, and that's because he wanted to be the best version of himself possible. He didn't want to just have everything handed to him. And that's a dope theme, even though he goes on to beat mafia bosses later on for no reason. Anyway, it's good as shit. I can't really explain it, but you'll know if you read.